And moving on to the National Hunt Chase, and we have a very short price favourite this year in Galar de Menil, who is 11 to 10, 5 to 1 Ramiers, Churchstone Warrior 13 to 2, Chemical Energy 8 to 1, along with Mal or Mission. The headbanger that is Mr. Coffee is 9 to 1, Manila Crooner 16 to 1, and it's 20 to 1 bar. Galar de Menil 11 to 10, play or lay, Dean?
Probably play, but it's short, isn't it? So I've been tipping away at something else on the basis that it's just the price is no good. Like, I know he does look a good thing. He's the only proper horse in there. There is another novice in there, Mr. Coffee, who loves finishing second to everything. I think he'll probably finish second here, and if anything happens to Gaillard de Menil, he might win. Derek had a spin on him already for Nicky, and there was big prices around when we started talking about him on the Racehour, so it pays to listen, because like tonight, those things have changed. But I started talking about him then, and it's around 16 to 1, and I've just been tipping away at him. I think it's not going to be a big field. I can understand that a lot of people in here will say he can't win. I think he finished 6 times second in 8 chases.
He'll just wreck your head, that's all.
You loved him, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Look, I made the club.
To the unconverted now, aren't I? Yeah, so like, look, I do think he's going to run a massive race. He'll have Derek O'Connor on. He is still a decent enough price. He will finish in the first 2. And probably 2.
Yeah, he looks a good each way price there.
Benson once beat Mr. Coffee, didn't he?
Yeah.
Standing, yeah.
You know, it's not like a trophy that not many horses have. They all seem to have the beat Mr. Coffee trophy. But if something happens to Gaillard de Menil, I'd fancy to pick up the pieces. It's been a long-term plan for Nicky Henderson. That's what you want. They've got the jockey on to have a spin. There's not a lot to say about Gaillard de Menil. Should win this.
Should win, Diarmuid, Gaillard de Menil. Is he part of these multiples that we're trying to find to put into lucky 15s, lucky 31s, lucky 63s? Is Gaillard de Menil one you have to include?
Yeah, but there's nothing there to beat him. I mean, he's already beaten Churchstone Warrior by, was it 8 or 9 lengths at Christmas he beat him? Ramillies isn't up to his level. Chemical Energy was very good at Cheltenham, but he's kind of tail off. Malor Mission was beaten by Churchstone Warrior. Mr. Coffee just can't win races. Like, in my Tote Exacta, I would have Gaillard de Menil to beat like Manila Crooner, to be honest. I think Manila Crooner could just have the plodding energy about him to stay on. I mean, we're only 12 months away where he was a Albert Bartlett fancy by many, you know, so like he can't be, he shouldn't really be 16 to 1. His jumping's not that bad either, so he'd be the one I'd have to chase home Gaillard de Menil, but I don't have anything in this race that's up to Gaillard de Menil's level.
Expect to see some headgear on Manila Crooner Cheltenham. Yeah. I think they will improve Manila Crooner. Jamie, you like that in the National Hunt Chase?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a real soft spot for Ramillies. I remember as a bumper horse, he was always very highly thought of.
Yeah, Willie always loved him.
Yeah. And he just seems to be sort of learning his job a little bit better now. He was sort of mad keen early, and then he looked slow, and you were really trying to figure out what his game was. But it looks like Stone Chasers seems to have made a bit of a man of him. And he just, at double figure prices, he'd be an interesting one for me. Maybe perm him up with Gaillard de Menil for an exacta, or and then Mr. Coffee to come second and third.
What are you giving me at double figure prices there?
Oh, maybe I'm looking on the exchange. Maybe that's all wrong. Yeah. Geez, what price is that? 5 to 1 at the moment. 5 to 1, yeah, double figures with the tote.
The tote in the day.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could say he's 10 to 2.
Yeah. Geez, yeah, it is up in massive numbers behind me as well. So Ramillies. I'd like Ramillies here.
Okay,
It's possible that they switch them up a little bit, isn't it?
Well, we'll find out now in a minute.
That's the game.
Yeah, we'll find out now in a minute.
Sorry, DJ.
Don, National Hunt Chase?
I was thinking that they'd run Ramillies in the Brad Advisory Chase if Gaillard de Menil was coming here, and vice versa. Interesting on Ramillies, he was really highly tried as a bumper horse and a hurdler. Like he ran in all the good races, and it wasn't until he went over fences he ran the beginner's chase at Thurles. And the Tenzing, his stable companion, was a shorter price than him, but Paul Townend rode Ramillies, and his jumping was really good that day. He won well. And it was a bit disappointing that I know he got past the post first last time against the Devil's Coachman, but he lost it in the stewards' room, and you can argue that it was the right thing to do, that the Devil's Coachman was a bit unlucky. So he did have the run of the race that day. It was just a bit disappointing that he couldn't go on and beat the Devil's Coachman. So he's a horse that I did have in mind for one of these races before then, and maybe maybe he'll improve from that. It was only a second chase, but he's interesting wherever he goes. And if he goes here, and Gaillard de Menil runs here, just think that they're owned and trained by the same people, so you'd think that makes sense to split them up. Gaillard de Menil, look, he's a model for this race. He's a second season chase. We finished third in Irish National. He's a Grade 1 winner now over fences, so he's the right favourite for the race, but And as Jim was saying there, he beat Churchstone Warrior, who was good the last day, stayed on well the last day. He beat him in the Neville Hotels race at Christmas. So, yeah, look, he's the right favourite, but I'd be interested to see where Ramillies goes.
Excellent. David, where do you think Ramillies and Gallard and Manil will run? Do you think they'll both run in this race?
I don't think they'll both run. I'd say Gallard and Manil will probably run all right. He has to be a steering job. Ramillies was always fancied by Willie, highly tried, and he's a real gorgeous, big looking grey horse. I think there's a hole in him somewhere though. He just didn't ever seem to get home really or do anything. I think 3 mile 6 is really going to bring out that hole even more as well. In a good way. He's not dead anyway. Yeah, but Gallard, the second season novice, it's worth a lot. It's worth £10 if you're asking me. So yeah, all over by that.
Brilliant stuff. So Patrick and Willie, of course, won the race last year with Statler. They're going to do it again, according to most of the panel, with Gallard and Manil. Mikey, are you a Gallard and Manil fan?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Way too short. Tell me a Sans horse that's won at the Cheltenham Festival.
There surely is.
I don't know. I thought the same, but I just don't know if there is. Anyway, no, not at that price, no way.
Right, give us an alternative then.
Very, very hard to know. Jamie Codd will probably ride Chemical Energy, will he?
Yep.
And does
or Manila Crooner, but I'd say Chemical
Energy. Does
Energy.
Tenzing run?
Tenzing, I'd say will run, yeah.
He's been staying on very well in his races, and you know, I wouldn't put you off him either. I couldn't back him at that price. That's ridiculous. I think, you know what I mean, for 3-6 around there. I'd have each way on Chemical Energy, Churchstone Warrior, but it'd be a few quid each way, and Tenzing would be for me.
just the 3 bets.
What about Mallory Mission?
No, Tenzing for me each way. It's just he's too short, and for some reason I just know that price too much is too short for me anyway.
Brilliant. Okay, so it's Tenzing each way for Mikey Fogarty. He's not on the list there, so he's 20-1 bar. So I think he is around 20-1. He's 24 on the exchanges at the moment. Tenzing in the National Hunt Chase, but there seems to be a pretty unanimous agreement on Gallard and Manil from the panel on day one. Now, don't worry.